some of the tips that have worked for you, and what you would want the listeners to take away from this session?
Really, for me personally, I've told you a few of the strategies I did, kind of roles I was looking for, and how I was particular, and also prioritizing, knowing what's important at every point in time. It's like when you're cooking food. There's some food that you want to be done now. You bring the food. When you say done, you want the food to be cooked. So you bring it to the burner with the highest flame, and you put it right there because you. But if you notice those things that you put on that burner, they need the most attention. But when it comes to those tips, your children, especially at a particular age, they need a lot of attention. You need to be there to look and see what's going on, and then you can use technology to help you. I used to be that parent that used to say, oh, you don't need all this CCTV and co, but they actually do help. You can invest in them. And then one thing I've seen that helps, especially like I mentioned, school. Don't make life difficult for yourself. I like the way things are structured in the developed world. I'm talking about the US and the UK, where even to look for a school, they're asking you for your address because it makes sense. Your child's school should be close to you. And now I'm very particular about that. I don't care how nice the school is. I'm going to send my child to a school that's across the city. I want a school that is close proximity. If that school is so fantastic, then I'm going to go and get a house there because something must be working.
Yes.
Do you understand? Something must be there to make my life easier. So either the school is close to me or the school is close to my office or something. Look for how to simplify your life by making things as easy for you as possible. Life is tough enough. Don't go and do things that are so difficult that you cannot even find how to even cope, because when you put your children, you have 3 children in 3 different schools, you want to try them out. They say this one is good. You're doing mini. So let me just put them in a different school so I can see which, and you're setting up yourself for a lot of stress because you're going around the whole city, driving up and down, doing taxi driver work without any pay because you're trying to make sure everybody's. You need to look for how to simplify. You look for ways to simplify your life, and then also you have to find how to help your time. Create time. Time is one of those resources that are so precious. When you know what's happening, a day has ended. Use resources to help you save time. You can use different techniques. Sometimes you have to say, I'm logging out of certain apps that are stealing my time, or I'm using timers. I've had to put a timer on my Instagram because at times I'm going there to post for work. And from work post, I start looking at somebody's dress and I start looking at there's nothing wrong with those things, but then you start overdoing it. Next thing you see that 2-3 hours has passed and you're just doing like that, scrolling on the phone.
Scrolling.
That's you could have been using to sleep, to write a paper, to spend with your family, to read your Bible, or what, so time that you would have used for yourself. You just need to do something that is not really adding. And like I said, sometimes it's not as if it's a bad thing, but when you not spend all your time doing that, so the things that lead to you taking that precious time that you need, then also taking care of yourself. Especially as you get older, I'm finding that this is so important. Self-care is not selfish. You might want to, maybe you have a plan to do something else, it's going to cost so much. At the end of the day, you find out that if you don't do that self-care act, you end up spending more on yourself. Take care of yourself. Do that pedicure. Go for that spa treats. I remember the last time I was in the US, some friends were going out and they said, oh, they're going to spa for massage. I said, now I'm going to start spending dollars on massage. I'm going back to Nigeria. This exchange rates is not smiling. I just thought to myself, this is the only thing that I actually have done for my self-care on this trip. And I said, you know what? In my mind, let me come. And it was such a relaxing evening. Yes, I could have used that money to buy a purse, but really, would the purse help me as much as that massage I enjoyed? I do not think so. So take care of yourself. I'm just things I've tried to do more. Sometimes just shut down. Just if you're going to sleep, that sleep is like a battery, a phone that needs to be charged. Sometimes all you just need is sleep, just to plug in, recharge your battery, and have a good nap. Another thing that's really important that has really helped me a lot is looking for the right support system. A lot of, especially in Nigeria, where we're able to get help, we don't get anybody. But you need to get people who understand what you're trying to do with your family and will actually make your life easier for you. See all those underage girls that you want to get, they're not going to make your life easier. You're going to stress yourself. You're going to get into trouble at the end of the day. Why not get someone who is mature, who can actually understand what you want to help you? You're thinking you can eat your cake and have it. Maybe you're looking for cheap labor or something. It's even wrong. Let's even think about it. Get
Mm-hmm.
someone that's very well and who will actually help you and make your life easier. Who you can actually give instructions and send a text message, and the person can actually read it and understand what you're saying. With the higher power, I'm a Christian, so for me it's Jesus. Having time, spending time worshiping, spending time just shutting down, not doing anything, just speaking to him, worshiping, singing songs of praise, reading the word of God. Those things help us, energize us to a large extent. Oh, when you think of things that said, oh, I can do all things through Christ, it helps you go through those tough days, through those difficulties. So having that source that you can plug into and say, God, I know I have you. Thank you for today. And it helps you with your emotions as well, because a lot of us, we have hormones are doing things to you, you're stressed out at work. You have to don't allow these things get to you. The day I discovered I did not have to shout was like a breakthrough for me. And I was like, why, like, why do you have to shout? You're angry, but you don't have to shout because you're giving yourself a headache, you're stressing yourself out. You don't need to shout at the child or anybody, just take it easy with yourself. And you see that it helps bring down your stress levels. Then have a community. Communities really help. I have a community where I have a few parents that I chat with on WhatsApp. We share things, we share parenting strategies, we share what has worked. I talk to them, they talk back at me, and we encourage each other to say, oh, you know what, this is not as bad as we think it. This is not as difficult. Oh, I'm going through this. My child is doing this. What can I do? We share it together. Oh, I'm going through this challenge at work. What can I do? We share it together. Have a mentor. When you're working, especially as a working woman, honestly, having a mentor who has gone through what you're dealing with and who can advise you and give you direction will really help you a great deal. Who will tell you, look, you know what, do this, do it like that, do it like this. This is what might help you. You find that it's not as difficult as you think. It's surmountable. Those things that you think cannot be done, you find that you're able to actually overcome them because you have gotten advice. People say that experience is the best teacher. I don't think so, because sometimes you don't even have to experience something. If you're able to learn from someone who has experienced it, you're able to surpass them and do better than you could ever imagine. And then for me, the magic one, learn to say no. Learn to say no. That is something. I was a people pleaser for a long time. I don't like letting people down. I don't like upsetting people. I don't like people not. I would from childhood, I've always been that kind of person that wants people to be happy, and I would do that at my own expense. But I saw that it was causing me a lot of stress. You want to attend every event, they invite you to everyone, you will say yes. Meanwhile, you're struggling with family life, struggling with work life. You can't be everywhere. You cannot. It's not possible.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to just say, oh, because sorry, I can't make it. Thank you for the invite. I'll take a rain check. That's why I like your chair. Most times they have that thing inside them where they will just say, you be like, I'm not for you. Why now? But they'll just say, I'm sorry, I have plans with my family. They kind of story, take it or leave it. But especially in our culture, where we're just trying to please, especially for us adults, we don't want to offend Auntie Neka, and we don't want to offend them. I'm just trying to juggle everything. And then you have your husband there, and then your husband, your spouse. A lot of us need to make sure that, look, this person, you met, you were there before the family came, before the job came, maybe. Make sure you prioritize that person. Prioritize everything. Whatever you need to prioritize should be prioritized. What are the most important things? Have your scale and put it down. Say, what is the most important thing to me right now? What should be the most important things to me? It's not this TV show that is keeping me up to 3 a.m.
Hey.
That time, I can use it to actually do a course or spend more time with my spouse talking. Or we have things that we do in common. Okay, you know what? Like, I love what you said. We spend time. Okay, where are you? Let's meet up and talk. But by the time you get home, he might not be home, or you might be tired. So being that intentional to say, okay, you know what, we're doing date night every week or whatever, we're going to go and hang out. It might not be anywhere fancy. Don't think, oh, we're spending too much money. No, it might just be, where I live, I have all sorts of joints, Unkobi joint, whatever. You don't even do a date night at home. Everybody has gone to bed. Or just, whatever, let's watch Netflix and sit down and chill. Saying, okay, I'm going to do this thing because it is important that I feed. Anything that you do not feed, anything that you do not water, anything that you do not spend time with, it is going to wither and it's going to die because it needs your. It's like an arm that is not being used, and eventually it will wither. Like a plant that doesn't receive sunlight, water, or any manure, eventually is going to die. Everything that's important in your life, every relationship, every object, everything that matters to you, family is at the center of it. Your family needs your attention. You must take out your time to serve. You share the tips from beginning to end: support system, parenting village, your health. These things, you know what's important to you. I remember I shared the story about this lady that she went to spend time with. The lady was saying, "Oh, that her marriage is suffering, her marriage is suffering." I said, "Okay, let me come and spend time with you and see how I can talk to your husband." And she got there, and within 3 days, she could see part of the problem. This woman was never at home. From the office, she's going straight to church. I was okay. But the person you're even having a problem with, he doesn't even see you for you to even reconcile, because you're always out of the house. I don't even get it. Even your children, do your children know you? I don't understand
Wow.
what's going on. And it was an issue. And this is something that you live in a very busy city. So yeah, sometimes you say, you know what, this committee, recently, just last year, I had to, because I had started my page there. So one of the things I have to put at the back burner, because you have those that you must look at. I have to say, okay, this one, I cannot do this now. I put it down. Vice Chairman Housing Association, I removed it. PTA Chairman, I removed it. I was in Bible school. I'll go back to Bible school soon, but I had to just pause and say, you know what? Understand this is your PhD journey, because you're doing it from a distance. It's already making it more difficult. So understand whatever and put it away. You have to just know the things that you have. Some things, and that's saying no to certain things. Some things you can take them up later. You see, there's something happening in church, and they're like, "Oh, are you coming?" I said, "Look, until I retire, don't invite me for certain programs, because I do not. It will take that time I'm reserving for family. I'm already a worker in church. Don't add to this work by giving me this kind of whatever. I will not do it. I think what doing is worth doing well. Please learn to say no to those things. You can't do it all. You might think it's such a great honor, they're giving me this thing. Even at work, you can say, "Oh, sir, thank you for honoring me. I've had to do that." But you know what? Learn to delegate. That's another thing a lot of us don't know how to do. We're micromanagers. In the house and at work, we're doing everything ourselves. There's some foods that take so much, the process is long. I know how to make it very well, but I will happily order that soup. Once in a while, I feel like I have time, good. But that particular one, but it takes a whole lot of time. So I happily order. At work, I have learned how to delegate with reckless abandon. I will guide you on the process, but then I have subordinates that are learning from me. Why can I not trust them to do assignments? I still say, "Okay, you know what, do it. Whatever." I correct.
Yes.
We said it, we both said it to me. That superwoman badge, just put it down. It's not necessary. It's going to give you stress. It's going to affect you from having a truly integrated life. And there's just no need. There's no award for it. At the end of the day, we're thinking about lifestyle issues, your BP.
Yes.
All sorts of issues that come from overstressing yourselves.
Yes.
You need to be able to help yourself by saying, "You know what, at this point in time, it's enough. I need to take a break. I need to say no. I'm on vacation." So I'm on vacation means I'm going to actually put that email that says, "I'm on vacation. If you have any whatever, please contact Mercy." Because for some of us, that thing is, even if I'm available. No, you are not available at the point. You need to be able to wind down and know that, look, you are not indispensable.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
what happens to you, you end up sick. That project that you're going to kill yourself on top, they won't pause. They is available. Sorry, so and so is in hospital. She just had a nervous breakdown, or blah 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 blah. Who is available? Who is available to take over?
My goodness.
But they have a timeline. Sadly, we lost the greatest bankers of all time, and the day after he passed or so, I think a day or two after, they announced the person I was replacing. And people were like, "Nawa." I said, "No, there's no Nawa in it. That is just the way it has to be, because business continues." They will mourn him. It doesn't mean they're not mourning him. They want to mourn him. But if anyone thinks that when something happens to you, the world will stop. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Hey, Choma, this whole part now, you are a walking, and I think that's also what comes with experience. You are a walking encyclopedia. We just had a full masterclass on time management, on mental health, on taking care of, on self-care, and I like I think I'll summarize it with what you said. Anything you do not feed will die. If you don't feed your health, it will impact you. And like what Shoma said, if anything happens to you, whether it's a nervous breakdown or whether you are hospitalized or whether, God forbid, you die, the job will continue. The work will continue. You need to prioritize your health. Self-care. Shoma also said self-care is not selfish. Take care of yourself. Get that manicure, get that pedicure, go get that massage, go take a vacation. And when you're on vacation, be on vacation. Turn off your phones.
Be on vacation.
Be on vacation. Spend time with your family. You talked about the prioritizing your spouse. For those of us who are working moms with children, eventually the kids are going to leave. You're going to be stuck with that one man that you have not built a relationship with. So work on that relationship. Prioritize your anchor, your spiritual life, because that is where everything rests. For me, that is like the base. That's like my foundation. Every other thing is built on it. And you said, look for the right support system. When you said that, in my mind just went like this. Some support system will add to your stress. I like what you said, the right support system. You have to be intentional about the kind of support that you get. Then recharge. I like when you said recharge, even sleep. Sometimes when we sleep and wake up, everything is fine. Sometimes it's just sleep we need. Sleep and wake. My notes, I was supposed to be listening to you, but as you were talking, I know
I'm online. After this session, I need to go and sleep. So please, I'm not. Please, because I can't follow you again. Let me sleep. I need to sleep. We need to listen to our bodies.
Yes.
I'm going to give us signal. And also that's why we're forcing ourselves through.
Yes.
And there's a reason why, and that's part, it's part of self-awareness. It's part of just being in tune with who you are. The body gives you signals. There's nobody that just has a stroke or just has a nervous break. There are small signals, but what do? We ignore the signals. We want to push through. You know, the time you can tell your boss that, you know what, sir, I'm actually not feeling very well. I'm sorry, but I need to actually take the rest of the day off and sleep. Please.
Absolutely. And Choma, I am now advocating for mental health days. The same way we have sick days, we should have mental health days when we can just say, you know what, take a break. You can go home now. Just go and rest. Just go and distress and be comfortable with it. I am also speaking about policies. You're a policy person, and that's where we're going to end, right? Because we can't have two policy people on call and we don't talk about policy, right? We have to have policies that encourage self-care, policies that encourage mental health conversation, mental health awareness, mental health days for working moms. I love that. We need to be intentional about it. And Choma, it's not even anything earth-shattering or bank-breaking. Something like not overscheduling. You talked about that. We just back to back. If you have completed your job from 9 to 4, even if your closing time is 5, you can go home if you've done your work. We can put in policy when people leave work, don't send them work emails. As simple as that. That's small policy. And if you send an email and they don't respond outside of work period, there shouldn't be no repercussion. Like simple policies that we can put in there. Not anything shaking the foundation of the institution. No. Simple things and enforce them. You know, before we started recording, we talked about the fact that the issue is not policy. The issue is implementation. Simple things like that. We can begin to talk about them at the workplace. We need to be intentional because we put the burden so many times on the working moms. We put the burden, or they put the burden on us. Oh, prioritize, do this, take care of yourself, self-care. But we are not creating enabling environments that support mental health.
Absolutely.
So
and that's what leads to more guilt.
Policy. Go ahead.
That's what leads to more guilt, is that this woman wants to show that she doesn't want to look like she's a lousy employee or she's not doing her job because she has a family. The onus is on the society to say, you know what, or on the whoever, the nation. I think there should even be national policies regarding. And to be honest, like I said, the nation has actually tried. I was talking to one of my male colleagues the other day. I know we're talking about women, but he was also saying about how any man that has a child, it is hard for him to be in the office when his wife has just had a child. As opposed to
paternity, what do they call it?
Leave.
Paternity leave. Yes.
But they're expected to work. And I said, okay, there's a policy for that, but it's not been implemented. Let's talk about maternity leave. Maternity leave is not been implemented fully in a lot of places. It's meant to be 16 weeks in Nigeria. I think at least we have it a bit better than they do in the US. But still,
thank you.
In some places. Because there's a lot of mental health issues. We have to remove the stigma around mental health. Where a woman, because think about it, we have a lot of postpartum depression, different things going on, and you're making and people are being made. And I want to let's know that this is not the same as mom guilt. This is more like guilt tripping women. Woman that says, "Oh, I have to take my child for immunization," making her feel as if. I was shocked. I was speaking to a woman from Germany, and she was telling me how you see some countries that they're so modern. In Germany, I think maternity leave is a year or two. And she said, look, the whole reason is a year or two is that they're hoping that after you have that 1 or 2 years of maternity leave, you will have another child and you'll never come back to work. Because for them, in their society, they're like, why should in fact that they have a derogatory word for a working mom? They call you a raven mother, and it means you're a wicked mother. Ravens just leave children and they're mean. That what are you working for? That if you then tell your colleague, oh, my child is not feeling well, so you came late to work, they'll say, just stay at home now. Why are you even coming to work? To do what? What kind of mother will be coming to work every day? Go and face your child. And that's the general attitude in Germany. And I was shocked. And I met this elderly doctor who told me that when she was going to school, you couldn't be a medical doctor and aspire to be a mother.
No.
That you have to choose one. For her, she chose to be a doctor because she knew that, oh, there's no marriage or children for me. That was the choice that she had to make in her own time. And now it's a bit better, but there's still so much, they look at women as the policies are not, some are even there to even harm you and not to help you, or they're not being implemented well. Flexible work policy during COVID, women obviously survived. But now we've gone, especially in Nigeria, we've gone back to work, and people are acting as if you don't come to work, everything would, all hell will break loose. Flexible work policies will still be introduced.
Flexible work policies.
Yes. But as long as the person is being productive and they're doing their job, why can they not work from home a few times a week? Those things go a long way to having you have happier and healthier staff. Recently, in the UK, post-COVID, a lot of organizations, they started doing either, I think, Friday off.
Yes.
Yes. They started look.
4-day work
week. Because people were working effectively during COVID. So that means, and people were happier, and their staff, they found that their productivity has not dropped. This is the kind of thing that we need to speak to those making policies at the organizational level, at the national level. So at the national level, to say, please make policies that help your colleagues. Don't look for punitive policies that will punish people.
Yes.
Look for policies that will make your employees happier and will boost that will motivate them and boost their productivity. Then at the national level, when you're making these policies, make sure that they are being implemented.
Yes.
There be penalties for non-implementation. But people can know that you cannot just do things anyhow. For instance, I'll give you an example of something I've been so unhappy about regarding work policy. In some offices, compassionate leave is 5 days.
What? That's when you lose. Compassionate leave is when you lose somebody.
When you lose somebody, in some organizations it's 5 days. Some organizations it's even less, 2-3 days. I'm like, what are you going to do with that?
Oh, that's not fair.
It's not fair, and this is important on mental health because you're going through a life-changing experience.
Yes,
and you cannot. Which one are you going to be? You'll be crying every day in the office. You're going to be a nuisance. You're not even stable emotionally or otherwise. I think that organizations need to rethink and think of this is actually for the betterment of our organization, to make sure we have policies that will help our employees feel better motivated, feel happy, and be able to put in their best in the workplace. And I said at the national level, when you go to European countries, workplace policies are a national issue.
It's a national, because that is what it should be.
That's why you have countries like Sweden and Norway having amazing the kind of leave they have. Oh my goodness, you just be, and they are working. They're productive. They're productive.
I know.
Think about it. The US has a lot to learn when we think about it. I keep on wondering how is the US How are they not even getting this thing right as
You
developed as the
right
US
right
is?
now in the
I don't
US,
get it.
there is no, and when I say this, I'm also very careful because I know there are some organizations that have taken out time to say, you know what, we're going to pay for maternity leave, but there is no national
On maternity leave.
policy on maternity leave.
You're kidding.
No, there is no national policy
Wow.
on that. It's only at the organizational levels. They will let you go on maternity leave, but it is not paid. So we are fighting now for paid maternity leave. That's what we're fighting for. So it's there. It's there. You can take 12 weeks off. The employment law protects you. You have your job when you come back, but it is not paid like we do in Nigeria. Our own maternity leave in Nigeria is paid maternity leave. The US will give it to you, but it is not paid.
Wow.
You have to take it from your time. And if you have used up your time, say your sick leave and all of that, it becomes another issue entirely with HR. Let's not.
So let's humanize HR. HR, we love you. Let's look at policies that are going to make the people that I know employees, you'll be like, oh, this one is lying, they are sick. I see all these memes, especially in the US, of how somebody is calling in sick and they're not sick. Well, guess what? If there's more reasonability and there's more flexibility, then you have less of such cases. That is the honest truth. Let's look for how to humanize the workplace. Let's have creches. I love it. Where I work, they have a creche. So many places have creches for children where people nursing mothers can come. If you now made that a policy,
simple things like imagine
having a creche, having a breastfeeding room, those things go a long way. Making the environment enabling for moms and giving them that lovely mental space where they feel happy, where they can thrive, where they're encouraged to explore. Just little things here and there will go a long way. Because that parenting is so important. As a parent, it is such an important part of your life. And if you know that your office recognizes that, I remember it was Indira Nooyi of Pepsi that was speaking about how her father was ill and she needed time off. And there was no leave that could really cover her what she needed. She was like, look, I need to go and meet my father. And they gave her time. I think and in the end, they gave her like 6 months or something like that. And said, go and take care of your father. And she went, within 3 months, her father was dead. She didn't even use up to the 6 months. Whatever the time, I can't remember, I'm just saying time, I can't remember how much time it was, but she didn't use up to the length of time given her. And she came back to work and all that. And she said that she never forgot what that organization did for her. And it stood out. It made her, it brought her loyalty even more. That look, this woman needed to go and be with her. Her dad was very ill, and she was given that time to be with him. Because imagine your father. I have lost my parents. I don't know the kind of work I'll be working when my father is about to die. As in those periods, I was a wreck. But I remember my second. When I lost my mom, I turned in my resignation while I was working because I was broken down. I was depressed. I was so unhappy. And I told him, and what it took was an understanding HR boss to say, you know what, take your time.
Oh, good.
Take your time. I'm going to reject this resignation. I know you've gone through a lot this period.
Wow.
Go and take your time. So we need those policies because that was just a one-off decision. He just took that decision, naturally and said, you know what, I know you're a good worker. Go and just take time and come back when you're ready. But we need to have more of such policies where their mental health is thought about. Working mothers need time to refresh, to rejuvenate, to get back to who they are. If you're going to give them, if it means, you know what, come back to work, but from so time to so time, we don't even mind. Give us some time with unpaid leave. Or say, you know what, you can work from home this period. But give us more time when we need it so that we can actually be at our best and contribute what we need to whichever organization that we're working at. We can be at our best in the society. We don't want people just snapping because they're not okay.
Hey, Chioma, thank you so much. You know that I told myself, don't open your mouth to ask anything again because we're going to be on this call for 2 hours, but it's just been a beautiful conversation. Thank you so much for this. This is so enriching, and I have learned so much from you, and I know that the viewers have also taken. This is a full master class for free. Thank you so much, Choma.
You're welcome. You're
We're
welcome.
going to round it up here. I just want you to give us one last parting word of advice from this wonderful working mom, policy strategist, and just an amazing human being.
Thank you so much, Mercy. My one word to say is that, woman, you're doing well. But you know what you can do even better? You can take care of yourself. Take care of your body, your soul, your mind. When you need to rest, take your rest. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing a great job. Well
Oh,
done.
oh, thank you. And at this note, we come to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much, Choma, for being on this call.
Thank
And
you.
I will catch you. You know where I'll catch you. Go and sleep. Love you, sis. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.